Hi, good day all. So today we'll be doing May, June 2022 paper 3. Paper 3. So if we look at the question, they said wherever in this entire question or this paper, you see pi, you're supposed to use 22/7, right? The diagram below shows a solid bar gold in a shape of a hexagonal prism of length 17.2. The vertical cross-section of this prism is a regular hexagon. Hexagon means just six-sided shape, right? With side 8 centimeters. So we see the 8 centimeters. We have six sides of those 8 centimeters. The formula for the area of any given polygon is S squared n all over 4 tan 180 all over n. Right? They told you S is the length of any side, right? N is the number of sides, and tan is the tangent function calculated in degrees. Using the formula above, calculate the area of the vertical cross-section of the hexagonal bar of gold. So we want the area of your hexagon, basically, right? So they said S is equal to the length of any side. The length of the side in your hexagon is 8, and N is equal to the number of sides, which is 6. So basically, let's just put this out. This is area is equal to 8 squared by 6. Let me put that better. It's going to be 8 squared multiplied by 6 all over 4 tan 180 over 6. Now, there are some things in this question you can't calculate. You know 8 squared is 64, so 64 multiplied by 6, all divided by 4 tan 180 divided by 6 is 30, right? And then 64 multiplied by 6 is 384. So it's 384 all over 4 tan 30. So you're going to put in your calculator 384 divided by open bracket 4 tan 30, and you need to make sure that your calculator is in degrees. So on the top part of your calculator, you're supposed to see DEG. So when you use your calculator and put this in your calculator, you will get 166.28 centimeters. And because it is area, it would be squared, right, to 2 decimal places. And that would be your answer for this. 166.28 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. Right, now let's see a next question. Determine the volume of a bar of gold. Now volume, and this is known throughout, volume is also known as equal to your area of the cross section multiplied by your height or the length of the whatever. If we look at this, our length or height, how much is our length or height? So our 17.2. Very good. So we know that our volume is going to be 166.28 multiplied by 17.2, right? And when you multiply this, you're going to get 2,860.02 to 2 decimal places. And this would be in centimeters cubed, right? Sorry, hold on. It would be fit this properly. 2,860.02 centimeters cubed to 2 decimal places. And that would be your answer for this question. You see, this is 1 mark. It's not plenty working that you have to do, right? Okay, so now we're going to do part 3. They said, given that the density of the gold, so they told you the density, right, per gram per kilogram, huh? calculate the mass of the gold to the nearest kilogram. So now we're talking about grams. So at some point, we will have to convert kilograms to kilograms. And we know 1,000 grams is equals to 1 kilogram because the density is in grams and they're telling you to give your answers in kilograms. So that's why one time I put this conversion right there. So you're going to use the formula density is equal to mass over volume. Volume is something that we found above. We don't know mass, but they gave us density. So density is 19.3 is equals to M over your volume, which is 2860.02, which is what we found above. Right? So we're going to make M the subject. We need to find out the mass, right? Mass is in kilograms. They say calculate the mass of gold to kilograms. So we're going to say M is equals to 19.3. If we carry across, divide by it, it's going to turn to multiply. 19.3 multiplied by 2860.02, which is equal to 55198.37 grams to 2 decimal places, right? Then this is in grams, right, guys? Because this was grams per cm cube. However, they want it in kilograms. So we know if 1,000 grams is equals to 1 kilogram, then 1 gram would be 1 over 1,000, and therefore 55198.37 would be equal to, let's just get some space here, 1 over 1,000 multiplied by 55198.37, which is going to give you 55.19837. They told you to give your answer to the nearest kilogram. So this is approximately, so that means your line is going to be drawn between 5 and 1. 1 is less than 5, so it is going to be approximately 55 kilograms. And that would be your answer, which is... Now they're telling you to find the total surface area of the bar of gold. We already know the area of your hexagon. That was in your one of the first set of questions we did. We know that the area of one hex was 166.28. So 2 hexagons would be 166.28 multiplied by 2, which is equals to 332.56 this is in centimeters, yes, centimeters squared. This is an area, right? And then we know, if we look at this, how many rectangles are we, how many hexagons are we seeing, and how many rectangles are we seeing? There are 2 hexagons, so we know if we have the area of 1 hexagon, we have to find the area of 2. And how many rectangles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 rectangles with length 17.2 and width 8, right? Because remember, each side is 8. Right, so we find out 22 hexagons. Excuse me. Area of one of the rectangles would be length by breadth, which is equals to 17.2 multiplied by 8, which is equals to 137.6. However, we don't just want one rectangle. There are 6 rectangles. Right, so 1 rectangle is equal to that. So 6 rectangles would be, 6 rectangles is going to be 137.6 multiplied by 6, which is equal to 825.6 centimeters squared. So my total surface area, because that's what they're asking for, which is your 6 faces as well as your two hexagonal faces, it would be 825.6 plus 332.56, which is 1158.16 centimeters squared, and that would be your answer. 0.16 centimeters squared. And that would be your answer for your total surface area of the gold bar. Right. They said part B, a jeweler melted 393 centimeter cube of gold to make 6 identical spheres. So basically 6 spheres is equals to 393 centimeters cube. Right? Calculate the radius of each sphere. So if one sphere is 392, then if 6 spheres is 393 centimeters cubed, then one sphere would be 393 divided by 6. 393 divided by 6, which is 65.5. So we know one sphere, or the volume of one sphere, is that. Now they're telling you to find the radius. Now we know that the volume, or the formula for volume, so formula for volume of a sphere is 4/3 multiplied by pi multiplied by radius cubed. We are trying to find for radius. We don't know what radius is. We know what everything else is. The volume is 65.5 is equals to 4/3 multiplied by, they told you in the beginning, wherever you see pi, put 22/7 multiplied by r cubed. Right? It's r cubed, yes, r cubed. So now we know that r cubed multiplied by 8, hold on, let me jump in the, we know that 65.5 is equals to 88/21, 4/3 by 21, 22/7 multiplied by r cubed. Right, we're going to make r the subject. So the first thing you're going to carry across is multiply. So this is going to be 65.5 divided by 88/21. Right, and then we won't find out the answer just yet. We want a flat answer. And we know your radius, r cubed, was 65.5 divided by 88/21. So r cubed is equals to 65.5 multiplied by 21/88. Right, then we want to make r the subject. So that means we're kind of carrying across the cube. If you carry across the cube over the equal to the cube root. So you're going to put the cube root of, open bracket, 65.5 multiplied by 21/88, close bracket. Right, and when you do that, you're going to get your radius to be 2.5. Hold on, let me explain. Let me put at 2.5 better. You'll get 2.5 centimeters. 2.5 centimeters. And that is how you would answer this question here. Right? Okay, so now let's do part 2. They said a distance a bus travels on a journey from city A to city B is 800. Right? Write an expression in terms of x for the average speed of the bus in kilometers per hour when the journey takes x hours. So this statement just means x hours will take 800 kilometers. Right? They want to find out, they said they find out for kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour just means for 1 hour. So if x hours is 800, then 1 hour is 800 divided by x. And that will be your answer for this. Right? For x hours with that, now they want to find for x plus 2 hours. So we know that x plus 2 is equal to 800 kilometers. x is equal to 800. Sorry, not, what am I saying? X. So if x plus 2 is equal to this, then 1 hour would be 800 divided by x plus 2, and that would be your answer for this one. Part 2 says the difference between the average speeds in part 1, which is x, not x, 800 over x minus 800. X plus 2 is equals to 20. They say show that this. So that means we want it in one form. So if we want it in one form, you need to find the denominator or the common multiple of x by x plus 2. Now, when we have algebraic terms like this, to find your common denominator, you just multiply the two. So it's x by x plus 2. That is your common denominator. Then you're going to ask yourself, how many times my denominator could go into my LCM? So how many times x by x plus 2 could go into x? 1. So this would be 800 multiplied by x plus 2. Hold on. 800 by x plus 2. Then we have minus 800 by, how many times can x by x plus 2 go into x plus 2? 1, 1. So this is going to be x. And this is equals to 20. Now we're going to multiply x by 800 is 800x. 2 by x is, 2 by 800 is 1600 minus 800 by x is 800x is equal to 20. This is all over x by x plus 2. Right? I need more space. Let's go to the side here. Now we see 800 minus 800x minus 800x. Those two will cancel out each other. So this, hi. We have 800x minus 800x will cancel off. So you have 1600 divided by x plus 2 is equals to 20. Right? So now we want to carry across divide by. The opposite of divide by is multiply by. So we're going to have 1600 over x by x is x squared plus 2x is equals to 20. You carry across divide by, it's going to turn to multiply by. So that's 600 is equals to 20 multiplied by x squared plus 2x, right? So that's 1600 is equals to 20x squared plus 40x, right? And you want this equal to 0. So it's 20x squared plus 40, and you're going to carry across that 1600. Plus, the opposite of plus 1600 is minus 1600 is equal to 0. Right, so now we have 20x squared, 40x. I didn't put the x here. 40x minus 1600. What number could go into 20, 40, and 1600 all at the same time? 20. So you're going to divide this entire thing by 20. 20 could go into 20x squared, x squared. 20 could go into 40x, 2x. And 20 could go into 1600. You can do it on your calculator if you're not sure. Minus 80 times is equal to 0. And that is how you would show that your difference between these two is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 80 is all equal to 0. We got that at the end. Okay, so they said solve the quadratic equation and hence determine the average speed of the bus if the journey takes x plus 12 hours. So we are going to solve x squared plus 2x minus 80 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic expression or equation, not expression, a quadratic equation. We locate what is A. A is your coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is your coefficient of x, which is 2. And C is your your number by itself, which is minus 80. Right, the first step is to that's the first step to identify A, B, and C. Second step is to multiply A by C. 1 by 80 is 80. Don't worry about the negatives and the positive signs, right? You'll worry about that after. Then you're going to write your factors of 80. 1 by 80 is 80. 2 could go into 80 40 times. 3 cannot go into 80, so you leave that as is. 4 could go into 80. 16 times. Not 16, 20 times, sorry. 5 could go into 80. 16 times, just now. I need to make this a little bit bigger. So 1 by 80, 2 by 40, right? Not 3, but 4. 4 by 20, 5 by 16, 6 cannot go into 80, 7 cannot go into 80, but 8 could go into 80. 8 by 10, right, is 80. So we now know all our factors of 80. Your next step is to ask yourself which two of these pairs would give you 2. If you were to add 1 and 80 or subtract 1 and 80, you will never get 2. 2 and 40, no. 4 and 20, no. 5 and 16, no. What about 8 and 10? Yes, we can clearly see that B can be 10 minus 8. So we have now, wherever we see B, you're going to put this. So you'd have x squared plus 10x minus 8x minus 80 is equals to 0. We have 4 terms, and when we have to factorize 4 terms, we pair them off. The first is going to be x squared plus 10x, right? And then your next one is always plus, guys, by open bracket minus 8x minus 80, right? And this is equal to 0. Oh my. Right. So then, now we're going to factorize. What could go into x squared and 10x at the same time? X. X by what would give you x squared? X by x. And x by what would give you 10x? X by plus 10. Right? So that is your first one. Automatically, guys, you immediately think, well, your second bracket has to be x plus 10. It must be the same, okay? If it is not the same, then something is wrong. We need to check it back. So now we work backwards. X by what would give you minus 8x? X by minus 8. So minus 8 by x is minus 8x, and minus 8 by plus 10 is minus 80. Right? Your brackets are the same, so you're going to put x plus 10 in one bracket, and the next bracket is going to be x minus 8. It's all equals to 0. They told you to solve for x, so that means x is equal to, if it's x plus 10, is equals to 0, that's x is negative 10. And then x minus 8 would be equals to 0. So x is equals to 8. Now, a journey that is taking so long will never take negative hours. So this answer is out of the question. So if they're saying x plus 12 hours, it would be x is equal to, which is 8. 8 plus 12. Actually, let's plus 12 is equals to 20. But they actually say that asks for the average speed. Now, speed is what? Hold on a minute. Very right. So in this question, they didn't just tell you the number, they told you to calculate the average speed. So as I was saying, it will be negative 10, but we'll still calculate it to show you. So if it took x plus 12 hours, and x is negative 10, so that's negative 10 plus 12, all right? this is equals to 2 hours. So the time taken for that journey would be 2 hours. Or when x is equals to 8, that would be x, or not x, sorry. 8 plus 10, 8 plus 12, 8 plus 12 is equals to 20 hours, right? So those would be two, is either 2 hours or 20 hours. But they told you to find your average speed. We already know the distance. The distance in this question was 800 minutes. 800 kilometers, sorry. So we know that your speed is distance over time, where your distance is 800 and your time could either be 2 hours or 20 hours. Right now, your speed would be 800 divided by 2 or 800 divided by 20. The first answer, 800 divided by 2, is 400 kilometers per hour, and the next one is 40 kilometers per hour. There is no vehicle alive that could go 400 kilometers per hour. No, let me just say there's no vehicle. There's no bus, basically, that would go 400 kilometers per hour. So this answer will not be valid. So the answer is 40 kilometers per hour. Look at this one. They said the total surface area of a cone with radius k has a slanted hand of 2k equals to the area of the circle of radius p. So the areas of these two are equal. They said show that P is equals to 2K. They told you the total surface area of a cone is this. And this is a circle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So we are going to put these values in your formula and then try to break it down, right? So area is equals to pi, and instead of your radius is k, so it's r squared plus pi, r is k, and your length, which is a slanted length, is multiplied by 3k. So this would be, area would be pi, k squared pi, hold on, k squared pi plus k by 3k is 3k squared pi, right? So k squared plus 3k squared would give you A is equals to 4k squared pi, right? Now we know that this here, area of a circle, is pi r squared, right? So again, we know the radius of a circle is p, so this would be pi p squared. So this is equal to also p squared by pi, right? Doesn't matter the order in which pi goes. So now they said that 4k squared pi, which is your area of your cone, is equal to p squared pi. If we look at this, both of them have pi in common, so we're going to divide out pi. So you're going to get 4k squared is equals to p squared. And they told you to find for p. Now, if we're making p the subject, we're going to carry across this squared. And the opposite of squared is to find the square root of 4k squared, which is equals to p. Now, we know that the relationship between 4 and k squared is multiplication. So it would be square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of k squared is equals to p. Square root of 4 is 2. The square root of k squared is k. This is equals to p. And that is how you would show that p is equals to 2k. Right, and that would be the end of May, June 2022.